right, I'm doing this real quickly. Um, you are going to create a dispersion effect. Before you do this, make sure that you have your splatter brush. I created this from the previous example or assignment that we had. Uh, the very first thing you're going to do is to create a duplicate of this layer and name it your top layer. Then you're going to use the quick selection tool and select the object, and from that selection create a new layer by pressing Ctrl J and name it your splatter. All right. Bring the splatter behind your top layer, and then now we're going to add a solid color background. I'm just going to use white since our background's white, and bring this behind your or below your splatter. Hide your top layer, be on the splatter layer. Use the smudge tool. If you don't see it, right click on the blur tool. Smudge is right there. Use the hard round brush, and we're going to smudge this object. Quickly smudge it by dragging that one color over and over onto the other side of the layer. All right, now that I have a good variety of colors that's coming from my kiwi, I'm going to add a black layer mask by holding the Alt key and then press on your layer mask. So Alt and then layer mask. Now let's work on the top layer. So easy, top layer, quick select it. Now I've quickly selected my object. I'm going to add a normal layer mask. To do the dispersion effect, use the brush tool, use your splatter, and then on the top layer you are painting black, while on the splatter layer you're going to be painting white. Before you do this, before you start painting, check your brush settings. So window brush settings, and then check your shape dynamics. Set the angle at 50%. This way you have different angles every time you use your brush. So like this. All right, now that my top layer is good to go, I am going to work on my splatter layer. Do the opposite here, and then you're going to show parts of the splatter layer. Now you can make the brush bigger or smaller depending on your desired output. You could also change the opacity of the brush as you go closer or further away from the object. So I'm going to use my brush tool and change the opacity here. As I'm going further away, my splatter is not as vivid as the ones that I have at the beginning of this assignment. And then you could also do the opposite. You can hide parts of it like this. Let's say, for example, you created a splatter that you don't want. All you have to do is use the soft brush, and then if you don't want any of these, like completely take it out, you can use the black. So if I don't want this big splatter here, all I do is just brush it with a black soft brush, and then now I can change my brush back to the splatter and then bring it back so that it's not too big. And there you have it, your splatter. If you want to go back to this top layer to refine it, absolutely you can. Refine it, make it smaller. As you go closer to the object, your splatter is smaller. And there you have it, ladies and gents. You have your dispersion effect.